Hey, good afternoon, Manchester, New Hampshire, and all the surrounding areas. We are going to have one heck of a time. I have a couple of rebel Republicans here and another co-host here. Maybe someday he'll become a rebel too.
We hope so.
Yeah. We don't conform to either party, and I am honored and pleased to honor the Honorable George. Lambert, okay. Good thing, because I don't remember names too well. He was a distinguished state representative for how many years?
4.
4 years, okay. And he and I are going to just tell it like it is. We're going to let the spirit run our show, and then we have a very good friend of ours, James, I think I try to pronounce your last name.
Motormouth is what you call me.
Motormouth, yeah.
That's
James Motormouth.
James Motormouth.
He's from the same area I'm from. I won't mention the names, people. That's our secret, Yeah. But we're both from the same area. Okay. And George, now, how long have you been not a state rep?
I spent 4 years as a state rep.
Yeah.
I spent 6 years as a selectman. Then I ran for state senate twice.
Okay, so, you win?
I did not win my state senate race.
And you went after Donna Susie?
I did. I lost by 998 votes. Can you imagine that?
Lot.
No.
But do you find that people don't vote anymore?
Yeah, that's totally true.
It's still, they'll complain.
Yep.
This is wrong. But yet nobody wants to change it. Is it easy to sit on your butts and just, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and yet do absolutely nothing?
We have a joke about those people in the inner circles of politics. You know what they are?
What?
They're armchair politicians.
Yeah. Well,
they will complain about everything, but they will not go to a meeting. They will not show up and do the research.
Probably don't even vote.
No, and if they do, it's based on sound bites rather than facts.
Yeah. First of all, folks, I want people like, you said Donna Susie, Tammy Simmons, okay, and Victoria Sullivan and Joyce Craig and Joan, all you people. No, I am not angry at you, Mr. Freeman. I have no reason to be angry. All I just feel is that especially Ray Hebert, whoever he is, he's running for Alderman 110. I don't, and whoever you are, all I want is answers. When I ask you a question on Facebook or like that, I guess it's easier to ignore the question.
Yep. I watched Corey Lewandowski on television the other day.
Great guy.
For his congressional interview.
Yeah.
And he did a better job of running out the clock than anyone I've seen in years. He never answered a single question he didn't want to. I mean, he got the politician, what we call the political rap down, which is let them start with any question you want and then answer the question you want to answer.
Yeah. And I just, number one of my major questions I often to you, and nobody said, like I would be willing to walk down with the candidates to talk to the homeless people. I didn't think that was out of line.
No, absolutely not.
And I actually talked to the people, George, at the park where I am at Sweetie Park. Mm-hmm. I've actually sat down and talked to a couple of the people who are homeless. Mm-hmm. They think these agencies are a joke.
Mm-hmm. I actually, one day when I was on your show, or actually I was waiting to go on your show, was downstairs and it was wintertime. And there was this guy who was a homeless guy asking for money on the street. And I said, so, he's like, I need to eat, whatever. And I walked him into one of the local sandwich shop restaurants.
Yeah.
And I said, pick whatever you want. And I paid for it. And I said, when I'll be out in 2 hours. And when I come out, we'll make the phone calls together. And we will see if we can get you some help. And then I gave him the jacket off my back so that he could stay warm.
Doesn't that make you feel good?
And I came back, and he was gone.
Yeah. They don't want to. I shouldn't say all of them don't want to help. Like, I had this one guy, this is several years ago, and he wanted money, and I said he was honest with me because he wanted to buy a beer. So I gave him a couple bucks to go. One of the dollar bill fell out of my hand, and he had on me, his pants fell. And he had the white ruffled underwear. I had all I could do was to stop from laughing. Because he had like a women's ruffled underwear. He had those on. I had to literally turn my back so he would see me laughing. And I don't know how we did it. He went to the store and got his beer, ginger ale, whatever, and he still beat me down by the bridge on Granite Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the thing is, folks, yeah, we have a lot of money for agency. We give a lot to the agency. But if you don't get out there and contact the homeless to find out what they want, what they need, don't make them come into the office and think you're superior to them, because you're not. Because the first thing I believe in, you can lose everything overnight.
Did you know that if you look at the budget, we spend more money in the welfare department on administration than we do on helping the poor?
Isn't that so?
Every single year.
Well, they're getting good paychecks.
Yes, they are.
What are they, between 60 and 35 to 100 and
Oh,
something thousand?
more than that.
That's 85% of the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they always return money back.
Then why do we have homeless people in Manchester?
We should, that's my question that I ask. There should never be a person homeless in this city. There should never be a person without food. Unless they choose to.
Mm-hmm.
You can put all the money into funding, but if the people don't want to help, or if you don't go out and get the people, you know, sometimes you have to get off your buttocks and go out and talk to the people.
Well, and part of it is mental health issues.
Yeah.
There are some people who just are so untrustworthy of the system
Yeah.
that they won't engage because they're waiting for the other shoe. Right?
And that's so sad.
It is. We need to give them an opportunity to fix that.
If you have never lived homeless,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately I have, but I lived in a hospital. If you've never had an experience with alcohol or drugs, but yet you have your master's degree and all that, you can. All you know is what you read from the books.
Mm-hmm.
What experience do you have? Any comment? Get quiet.
We are the same.
Yeah, okay.
I've been homeless.
Do you
I was
agree with
homeless
that?
once.
Well, I've never quite been homeless, but I spent quite a few months couch surfing for a while
Right.
without a stable place. But I've never had to sleep in the street.
I lived in an apartment waiting to get evicted. Luckily, I beat it before I found a place.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to eat at the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
So if you people who, and you know what, more power to you if you truly have it in your heart to go out and help people. Don't go by the book. Go by your own personal feelings. Help the people. Don't because the book says, well, you can't go over there because you might get dirty. Or, or go over here because maybe they might hurt you or whatever. You know what? Don't go by yourself. Go in pairs. Talk to them. Find out what they really need. They had those old-fashioned meter that people, I don't know if they still use them or not, that put money into the old-fashioned, and it goes to a special fund for the homeless shelter. That's not helping the homeless people because a lot of the, right now they're full capacity and there's a lot of people that don't room for them. So where are they going to go? And now one of the things I am going to think about too, I think the drug is a disaster area.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I'm not going to blame the politician for it. I'm not going to blame the for it because they do the talk, but they don't. All right, we'll do it this way. They do the talk, but they don't do the walk.
One of the problems that we're having right now is an opioid crisis.
Right.
But what's happened to create that opioid crisis is they've made the doctors so scared to write too many prescriptions for opioids that they end up taking patients off of opioids. Those patients end up going to find alternatives for pain management on the street, and they end up addicted to heroin.
Yeah. And what's that other one they use? It's like a synthetic heroin.
Methadone?
Methadone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know a person, because she ran out of money and her insurance would pay for it, cut off like that. That's the same withdrawals that they have with heroin.
Yep.
But I also know, I have a very dear friend, and I believe she's still alive. She has the HIV positive, and she got herself off in the crack. What is it, cocaine and heroin, I guess, or whatever?
No, it's processed cocaine into a crystal form, concentrated crystal form.
Oh, okay. And I saw it, And I applaud her, even though she got this sickness. I applaud her for getting herself off it. You know, I applaud anybody that wants to give up drinking. I did it, but anybody that wants to give up the socializing of alcohol or all that. You know, you can't sue an alcohol company because alcohol is a socially acceptable thing. When I get off of alcohol, I try to sue the whiskey company, and you cannot because it's a socially acceptable.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and wasn't cigarette smoking a socially acceptable thing at one time?
Well, I remember you pointing out when you walked up to me in the street that what the hell am I doing smoking? So I guess it's not socially acceptable anymore.
Not anymore. Well, I thought that hypnotized me for cigarette smoking here.
Really, I would.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it 7 or 8 years ago? 7 years ago. Right?
Let's see. It was 6 years.
Yeah.
He hypnotized me too to make me less stupid. I just
work?
don't think I just don't think that he put any limits, and so I think it got really stupid afterwards. You know?
Actually, the first time he hypnotized me, I wasn't ready to give it up, so I went to a past life regression. And it was pretty cool. I found out I was a lieutenant colonel in the Civil War. Okay, when Robert E. Lee got shot. I was also an Indian guy for the French-Canadian Indian War. And I guess I've always been in the war on the negative energy side. So now what I'm doing is, and I also found out on the hypnosis that I was a lady of the night. Okay.
You're still not now?
No, I'm always going to be. At least in my mind.
Exactly.
You know. So, George, what do you... you live in Litchfield.
I live in Litchfield. The closest gas station and Dunkin' Donuts to me is at the airport entrance. So yeah, I live really close.
Running water, electricity there?
Actually, recently they do.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How's the wife doing, by the way?
She's just applied for a brand new job today, and I'm excited that I believe she's going to get it.
Me too.
She's quite optimistic about that. If it wasn't for the fact that she had a job interview and a doctor's appointment for my daughter, both combined today, she was going to join us.
Yeah. Well, next time
she loves coming to your show.
And you got a daughter that just got married?
My daughter's not married yet.
Oh, I thought you had a daughter. I thought you went to a wedding.
Well, I go to a bunch of weddings. I'm a justice of the peace, so I'm at weddings all the time.
Okay. But you have a grandchild coming.
No.
Yeah.
You said so, but, no.
She's probably taking precautions.
I hope so.
And you're ready to be a granddad.
You know what? I will support my children no matter what it is they want to do.
I had the most beautiful granddaughter. And as far as I'm concerned, my son and daughter-in-law were very close. We almost lost her 2-3 years ago to suicide because of the internet and people bullying her. So now she's changed her whole life around. She's met a really nice man. She's also going to become a veterinarian tech. And the thing is, we still have that close relationship. Isn't that what family is all about? You have a good relationship with your children. Right?
Oh, I think it's incredible. Yeah.
And I want you and your mom will get back to not to where you were, but you'll get a good relationship.
Yes.
Don't give up on it.
I didn't.
Always keep the door open.
I always do.
Always either send her flowers or maybe a box of candy or whatever. Always keep that door open. Because I live every day, and I'll tell you what, I live every day without really knowing my dad. And a lot of it was my fault. And I live every day not knowing my whole family. And I'm better at it now. It is what it is. But folks, please, and I think you will agree with me, George, you have a good relationship with your family members?
More or less.
Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Right. I am looking, you and I had a conversation just before the show about getting into politics, and I told you I would tell you about my dad, which I'm really looking forward to. But I wanted to hit on something really quickly before we got to that.
Okay.
You mentioned online bullying.
Yeah.
Have you seen the TED Talk by Monica Lewinsky?
Yes.
Where she has created a foundation about online bullying and increasing awareness about bullying because people die. or people, end up incredibly depressed or all of these really negative things. And we don't recognize it as a community and society. And we need to. We need to say, you know what? That's wrong. And so I just thought, anybody who hasn't seen that?
Well, if you're listening to what we're saying and you have a comment for us, want to tell them how to call?
640-3091.
Area code 603.
Area code 603.
But give us a call. Express your vision. You're welcome to call. George and I won't slave you down too bad, but that's okay. No. And if you want to talk, that's fine. But bullying is real.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's in school, whether it's in person, or whether
it's online, it can happen.
Yeah. And it does happen. Where are your glasses, young man?
Oh, I don't have them.
Where are they?
In the car.
Yes, but how can you see that without them?
I can see you.
Okay. But anyway, bullying is real. I don't care. And the sad part is when I see, like on Facebook, or when I hear kids being made fun of because they might have a learning disability, I know what it's like, or whatever. You can beat a kid, it goes away. But bullying a kid, it never goes away. It's like when children are molested or whatever, or raped or whatever. Always, you learn how to live with it, but you don't forget it.
They probably don't forget it, but I believe that they can actually, with the right training and education, I believe they can overcome it. Yeah. I actually worked on writing a book called We Are Our Children's Baggage, Pack Lightly. Which is sort of true, that, parents and community actually have an impact on their children by the values that they set, the words that they use, and the expectations they communicate. And so if people are being bullied, one of the things you have to do is give them their power back.
Well, if you are, it is you who can control your own power.
Yeah, that's right.
It is you who can make yourself a what?
Winner.
Okay. And it's you. I like going down like to the market basket when I go grocery shopping. I go tiddly bopping, get my famous female wiggle on.
So people, the thing you do every morning, look in the mirror and point to yourself and say you're a winner, and that will change your outlook for the day.
Does it work?
Yes.
All right.
And
you're a winner?
Oh, I am absolutely a winner.
Your wife a winner?
Absolutely. Incredible.
Well, she married you, so she's got to be a winner, right?
Well,
or is it the other way around?
I think, it's the other way around 100%. Although you told me that the last time she and I were here, that I was a lucky guy because she was putting up with me. Totally true.
None of my women friends would put up with me. Mm-hmm. That's why I got married so many times.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not a huggy. Are you a huggy? I'm not a passionate person.
I'm a snuggle bunny.
No, not me. I can't. I'll change the channel if they're kissing on TV.
Uh-huh.
I find it grotesque, but that's me, And that's like we went. I got to say, my friend Al Caprian and I.
I love Al. Al's a friend of mine as well.
We went out to lunch at Applebee's. The waitress said, "Well, come see, come saw," But the food was fantastic. Mm-hmm. I had one of the club sandwiches, and I would recommend that club sandwiches to anybody. Yeah. And the thing I got really upset with the French fries were on the same plate.
The what?
French fries were on the same plate as the sandwich.
They put the French rice
on the same
plate as a sandwich.
Yeah.
And why would that upset you?
I cannot and do not like my food touching.
Oh, okay.
Most people respect that.
Did you tell them?
Yeah.
Separate plates?
Yeah. You know what? I managed to survive out of it.
We can survive some pretty tough situations. Yeah, And in terms of like the possibilities, I'm sure that beats everything you had to do, everything you had to deal with and put up with during the French and Indian War.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, this is just way better.
Well, you would never, folks. If you do a lot like with George, I was telling you some things about, you being you're being a leader. Mm-hmm. You've always been a leader. Mm-hmm. And you've always been like a monarch or something in your past life, and until you look at the challenges of it, One of the things I'm looking at you too is how old is your youngest daughter?
My youngest daughter is 15, learning to drive.
Mm-hmm. She is going to be in politics. So I said, no tomorrow.
I know that.
And she's going to be like there is, and she's going to be a fighter for the people.
She is.
You two will have a lot of disagreements. Don't get me wrong. Because I don't see her, wouldn't it be boring if you were on the same trip?
So my middle daughter actually goes to boarding school. She earned herself a scholarship. So she goes in Maine to a school. She was on the state legislative competition team for teenagers. And as a freshman, she ended up 6th or 7th in the state out of like over 100 people in terms of points she accumulated. Right. Like amazing legislator. So the problem is she's a Democrat. So so she comes home for Christmas, right? And I'm watching some Trump stuff in the living room. And she walks into the living room and she picks up the remote and turns off the television and leaves. I'm like, wow.
That's kind of rude.
Well, of course it was rude. But she said she was being triggered. I'm like, what, do you need some friggin' Play-Doh? You know that in schools and colleges and places like that, now they give these liberals safe spaces where they have, Play-Doh and crayons and like treat them like 3-year-olds. I don't get it.
I don't find that either. My granddaughter thinks she's a Democrat because of her people that she's in college with and all that. Yeah. And that's okay because she'll look for an eye and I won't respond back in an argument because it's pointless, And I'm on HBO 1.
Really?
I have my Trump hat. I have my president. I mean, the only president has any, I'm going to say testicle, to do anything about it with a big picture of Trump on it. So it made the HBO. Of course, people can't tell I'm a Trump fan, and I am. Who do you think? And you're pretty adverse to the political world, right?
Yes.
Who do you think is going to win the nomination for the Democratic Party?
Oh my God, scary. It is scary on so many fronts. Joe Biden is interesting, because he's got
his hands off the kids.
Well, right. I was just going to say, but he's like a little too gropey for, most people. Pocahontas has got her fingers in the manipulation of the financial world too much. When the story comes out on that, nobody's going to trust her with, the nation's money, never mind with the...
Can't tell you're a Trump fan, huh, Pocahontas?
And so let's see. They say Bernie Sanders is number 3.
He scares the hell out of me.
He scares the hell out of me too. I took my daughter who's in high school to look at a college in Vermont, and we ended up going to Burlington, Vermont. And we drove around Burlington. I would have sworn that I was in Soviet Russia in 1981. The place is scary. I mean, what the hell? So anyway,
isn't it interesting? All these Democrats, they're all candidates, but yet they live in all these multi-million-dollar mansions.
It's funny. People ask me who's my favorite politician in Washington nowadays, and I have to tell you, it's AOC.
I'm sorry?
AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I don't agree with her on anything.
But she's got a loud mouth.
But you know what? She speaks her mind. She does her homework. Okay? She twists the facts. But she came out of a restaurant as a working person and went to D.C. and tried to make a difference. I want to see more people like her rather than the history of incumbents who just continue to do the same thing over and over again. Do you know what they call someone who does the same thing over and over again and expects a different result?
Idiots.
An idiot. Yeah.
And I mean, look at what, Pelosi, 28 years?
Ridiculous.
Isn't that the people who fault that keep voting her in?
She's pushing. Yes. She's pushing for the impeachment.
Yeah.
Remember,
That's not going to happen.
She just came out was it yesterday?
Yeah.
So let's do the math, because I'm a math guy, right? Let's see. The Republicans hold a majority in the Senate. It takes a 2/3 majority to actually get a conviction on an impeachment. So no matter what they get out of the House is only mudslinging.
He thinks it's going to help him.
It is going to help him because they're just going to look stupid.
The more they talk badly about him, well, that's like Lou D'Alessandro. He was pushing for the gambling. and he kept getting reelected. Look at when Ted, he was the mayor.
Gatsas.
They slammed him.
Yeah.
Look at all these people, and I really believe that George Craig is going to win again.
Maybe.
And it's going to be a tight margin, but I do honestly think she's going to win. Because people in this city, they will bitch, they will complain. Like, I'm a bitch and complainer. But people will, for some reason, it's easier to follow the old than bring in the change.
Yep.
This is my prediction. Ross Carroll's going to get elected, no question. Bill Berry.
Oh, God.
I think it could be a tough one between. Now, Russell Lett won the nomination, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. What's his name on Ward 12? Keith Hirschman's going to win. What's his name? O'Neill's going to win. They're all going to be reelected.
And you know who's getting back on the board? Pat Long.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pat is for the people.
Pat Long is not. I don't call him a career politician because you're right.
No.
He does everything he can for the people.
I actually worked with Pat Long when I was a state rep on a number of occasions, and he was a joy. Like, we may not agree on everything, but he'll work with you. He'll listen to you.
Him
he'll tell you where.
Ross Terrio have the same background. They know like Pat Long. He knows the schools now. He learned it, so now he knows the automatic. So it's going to help him.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is the education. I don't care what you do with the people here. I really don't. What I care about is, let's drop all this homeless product. Let's drop all this drug problem. Let's start working for for you, or if you're a taxpayer, or for all the people that are in the city.
Easier said than done.
They don't.
No, because you know what they did, didn't you? Sununu opened up the stations. You know,
safe station? No, Sununu didn't open it. The fire department did.
No. I'm not talking this in the state. The hubs.
Oh,
yeah, he opened the hubs, and they funded, and the legislature funded the money. He vetoed it and put the money elsewhere. There's no money for the program. That's why it's not going anywhere.
Well, there's a lot of help out there for the people. Now, and let me tell you, don't get me wrong, I'm not against the homeless vets. Okay.
Neither am I.
But what I'm going to say, you know what? Yeah, they have mental issues. I agree, and I respect the fact that they were in the military. But it's like every other homeless person. They allow themselves to go this way, as far as I'm concerned. And we got everything. You got the Liberty House. You got the VA. You got this. You got that, and all that stuff. No, folks, I am not. I want the VA, the homeless person, to have help. But I also want the young children who are homeless. Or the adults, I want every single person. If I am going to be running for, hopefully, state rep, and my concern is education, legalizing marijuana, legalizing prostitution.
Excellent.
I'm really serious on that.
Actually, it's a really good idea. Nevada did it.
Yeah.
And basically, it allows women to be protected.
Right.
If they choose to be in that profession and they are assaulted, at least they can go to the police instead of sitting there and having the police say, you've committed a crime, so the fact that someone beat you up doesn't matter.
No.
I find that offensive. Now, I don't encourage anyone to engage in prostitution.
No.
But
it's their choice.
I want everyone to have the protection of law.
Right, and if the women are out there on the street, once you legalize the prostitution, should they receive should they get a fine or whatever? Yeah, and I also believe that it would help monitor the drug control.
Yep.
Okay, gambling, we already gamble.
Yep. I actually gamble over on across from the mall at the legalized, government-regulated poker room.
Yeah, as long as
you
get
a great time over there.
30% of that has to go to a charity.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah, so they're going to gamble, right?
30% of the houses take goes to a charity.
So why not legalize the whole thing?
I agree.
People, they go into Massachusetts.
Yep.
They're going to Vermont.
Yep.
They're going to Maine.
They are.
And you realize if we had up in the what do they call it, Mount Washington?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if they opened up near the Canadian border a big casino, do you realize how much money that would bring in?
Well, there's not a lot of money by comparison to the South.
Right, down at
There's
Hampton
not
Beach or whatever.
as much money in the North. However, it would turn it into a much larger tourist destination,
Right, and you'd
which
have
would
people
be
from
good
Canada.
for the. Yep, it would be good for the local.
And I was kind of disappointed when they took out the Rockingham Park and made it into a village.
Well,
But it's money coming in. Don't you think that, and also we all knew what was going to that, wasn't it called Tuscaloosa or whatever that, where
What's
the
it?
Rockingham Park is, what do they call that now? Not no more, and they got a little village in there now. They got shopping centers and apartments and all that. Don't you think this was all planned like 10 to 15 years ago? This is why they refused to allow them gambling in there?
I don't know. I know the politics of it was quite complicated. But the people who owned the property held it for a long time, and they wanted to cash in. And so they're like, look, we're either going to get casinos or we're going to do something else. But we've been holding this property. The property is deteriorating. And the parking lot literally was warped. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I used to go there to play poker all the time because I enjoy that. And the parking lot was warped like 6 inches at a time.
Well,
Like
isn't Keno gambling?
It is. Keno is the dumbest game ever played.
Yeah. And you had to, it's like a slot machine, right?
No,
How do you
Keno,
do
you
that?
take out a piece of paper,
Okay.
and then there are 80 numbers on it, and you pick however many you want, and you place a bet. And so you can pick one number, you can pick 2 numbers, you can pick 3 numbers. Now, if you go read a book on Keno, what you'll find out is that there's actually an optimal Keno strategy, which is not a big win strategy. It's a small win strategy on a regular basis. I believe it's 3 numbers, but some friends of mine and I actually did a mathematical analysis of Keno. And there's this interesting little hole where it's actually better for the player. But people who are interested in playing Keno should realize that every nickel that they put into it, they're going to lose and have it be entertainment. It's like a movie. You know, when you sit down and go into the theater, the money you spent is lost no matter how bad the movie is. Keno is the same thing.
Well, that's like when they had the backroom slot machines.
Yeah.
You know, I have a couple of good friends of mine that actually went to prison because their wives found out their husbands were gambling there, and they made a mysterious phone call, should we say. And so I'm all in favor of it. People are going to drink.
Yes.
I'll take the whole paycheck, but yeah, people are going to say, but the gambling, they take the last paycheck. You know what? No matter what you do, one of the sweepstakes, the instant sweepstakes, they got what, $2 ones, $5 Mega Power, Mega Bucks, or whatever you want to call them. They got the big cards for $10 and $20.
That's state-regulated gambling. Yeah. It doesn't change the gambling. All it does is change the control.
Right. And when they first started out, like with Mega Bucks, it was supposed to all go to the education.
Yeah. Where'd that go?
One time, I forgot to play my numbers. And the numbers showed up.
Well, you knew they'd show up eventually.
Yeah, but it was too late and I had already forgot to pay, you know.
Oh, you must have been.
My son wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks.
You know what I did one time? I actually went to the store and I bought yesterday's winning numbers and gave someone a ticket.
How'd that work?
Well, until they figured it out, they thought they had won, right? So it was a gag. Because, it's like, here is the ticket, here's the winning numbers.
What happens if a certain person breaks into a store and they still unroll those tickets and 4 or 5 of those numbers show up? What happens? Do they recognize it?
They will, because those machines actually have to submit the information to a central repository for validation. And so you won't get away with forging one of those tickets.
Now again, when the internet like it is, anyone that commits a crime is it's dumb.
Yeah.
Because look, and you know what I got to say, and I think you might agree, look at all the Trump administration has got elected and are running our country the way it should be. Look at all the sex traffickers, all the drug busts that are coming down, and I got to say hallelujah to Trump's administration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, did the other presidents care? No.
You know what I think is the most impressive thing to come from the Trump administration?
What's that?
Right to choose. Okay? I'm sorry, right to try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Basically, if you have an illness and the treatment has not been approved by the FDA,
Yeah.
instead of going out of the country to try it, you can actually get that treatment in the United States now. That's huge because there were so many experimental treatments for which, if you went to try them, you were out of the protection and jurisdiction of the United States.
Yeah.
Whereas if you choose, you can now waive that in an attempt to save your life. Now, if I had a friend of mine who had...
You had friends?
Every once in a while.
Oh, did? Okay.
Yeah, she had leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And she went through the whole treatment. She was in the hospital. She's in and out of the hospital for a year. And I did some research. There was an experimental treatment for leukemia that had successfully worked on rats in a school in Rhode Island. They were expecting it to go through and pass FDA approval within the next 10 years if things continued on that track. And they would be able to...
Go ahead.
Hello, you're on Norton's Community Corner.
Hi, am I on the air?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Oh, great. I think I watched your show, and I think it's great that there's only a few networks that are pro-Trump, and I think it's refreshing that you guys are. And everything you're saying really hits the nail on the head. So I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Well, I'm a Trump man all the way.
I'm a Trump man all the way. I was a Trump man when there were 4 chairs in the Trump office, and one of them was filled with Corey Lewandowski helping to put the Trump campaign together in New Hampshire. You remember that.
Right. And you know that Trump's going to win, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I don't see Joe Biden or Elizabeth Warren.
I think they're a joke.
They're going to be very... I just don't think it's going to happen. I think those two together might be a tough ticket. Maybe if one was president, one was vice president, those two. But,
well, when have Pocahontas and...
I just think you just don't get a true understanding of what's going on by listening to ABC
right.
and the major networks. And most of them, you just don't get a... it's been said before, obviously.
Right.
But
Do you think that...
look forward to hearing all such you all have to say.
Do you think that... Yeah, thank you. Do you think they're biased?
I think he hung up.
No, okay. I think that like MUR, as far as I'm concerned, when Adam Saxton and all them, I think they're biased.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the major media companies in the United States are owned by collectively.
Thank you, sir, for calling in. Yeah.
A conglomerate of 8 companies. Yeah. So,
one of the things that I look at, William Loeb.
Yeah.
Would turn over in his grave the way the union leader is doing.
Oh, my God.
Wouldn't he?
You know, there's a book about him, Who the Hell is William Loeb, which actually goes and talks about him, how he treated the presidents, how he actually managed the paper, and how he didn't.
Wow.
He actually went after everybody, and he kept Manchester an amazing place.
And he also had a newspaper in Vegas, you know.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Nicky Loeb was just as powerful. William Loeb was one of the most powerful leaders in the Republican Party. He would tell you who was going to win, and you knew right then and there. You know, I had the pleasure when I was 16, when my foster father, meeting William Loeb, and you know what this man did? He said, "I don't care. You get your education." And he spoke very highly to a younger kid because I was a slow learning, I was learning this. And you know what? He treated us all with respect. You don't get that anymore. And I am so surprised at the editor and publisher of the Union Leader and how much he has changed it around.
Presently?
Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah.
How recently?
4 years ago.
Okay. Well, I have seen nothing but garbage come out of...
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
William Loeb would have a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have seen nothing credible coming out of the union leader in the last 4 years. And
You know, it's pretty bad when you put the union leader in a bird cage and they won't even poop on it.
that's totally true. Oh, my God. I remember the first time I heard that joke, and I didn't understand it. But I understand it now. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And one of the things, folks, you know, like I said, and when you know, the biggest problem I have is when you, like, if you were a Democrat, we'll say, God forbid, you know, I don't want to hurt your image there.
Hey, I spent 4 years as a Democrat.
You admitted it?
Well,
I'm a Democrat, actually turned Republican.
I am a Democrat turned Republican as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't understand why, like, why they have to judge you by your political views.
Yep.
If you're a true friend, like at my house, when I do readings and people come to my house, when I do readings, you know, I do not and will not discuss politics. And I have a lot of
except for when
friends.
except for when you do me.
No, that's different. Oh, baby. Be careful how you say that.
Hey.
But
that was not an invitation. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. My partner wouldn't like it anyways.
And neither would my wife.
There you go. But, you know, when you judge a person by their political views, that's pretty sad. That's not a good friend.
Exactly.
You know? And I got to tell you, I am considered an internationally known spiritual reader. And, you know, it doesn't come overnight.
Nope.
Look at what you do. You work very hard at what you do as a consultant. Mm-hmm. Okay? And what he does, we're going to give him more... I want to tell you this, Gabe. You're a lot smarter than you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah, that's the way I've been.
You got to stop doing that. You're going to say, you know what? You're a winner. Don't let... George and I have been through a lot of criticisms.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean... We wouldn't be where we are now if we didn't, right? But
makes you tough.
Yeah. No one in this world, if you call him God, I call it the spiritual leader, or the spiritual, no one ever said that, oh, we're going to promise you a rose garden. Remember that song, I never promised you a rose garden?
Yeah. You know,
if my son ever watch, he'll call me and tell me not to sing, you know. But, you know, and, you know, like what Forrest Gump says, life is like a bowl of chocolate, chocolates, you know, you never know and you don't know what's going to get up tomorrow.
And it's the challenge that actually teaches you the most. It's not about what you can do easily. It's about what you have to overcome that actually makes you a more useful and incredible member of society.
You know, since I lost my weight, I realize how gorgeous I am. I look into the mirror and I say, oh my God, I am such a beautiful winner. And folks, I really do look in the mirror and say that. And I want each and every one of you to do it.
Do it. It works.
Okay. Yeah, I've done it. Tell me your little story while I go to the bathroom. We'll be right back. And you can talk. Yeah. Both of you can talk.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
No, I used to have all I'm another one that has depression and anxiety, you know. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean you have to be homeless, you know, to have it. And the key is reach out to people.
Yep.
Like the homeless people.
Connect.
Their problems, they don't have anyone to connect to. Mm-hmm. See, that's the problem on finding.
And to be inspired.
Yes. And sometimes all it takes is a friend to inspire you, to teach you how to change, you know, your way of thinking or things like that. Or someone you can always know you can reach out to no matter what. Mm-hmm. That's the way and I feel bad for the homeless people because they don't have that. Mm-hmm. And some homeless want to be there and some might be there because of bad luck. You know, like the way the rents are going and everything and stuff. So I feel you have to wean out the people and help the ones that want to be helped.
Yeah. What I don't understand is why don't we have a reference guide, printed out reference guide that actually that explains to homeless people what their options are.
Yes, Joyce Craig said back in December, if you go back to the meeting, one of the meetings in December, she said she was going to have one made up so people could pass out to the homeless people.
Where is it?
Never did.
I haven't seen it.
No, she never made it up.
Right. Well, actually, the thing she made up is the story, not the guide.
Yes.
What we have to do is get the guide out and say to people, look, what do you want?
Okay? That's what Norm said when he says, the talk is more than the walk.
Yep. Yeah. What I would like to see is, because it doesn't have to be the city who does it, right? But if we do it, we get the list of resources together.
And because you've been in politics, you know how it's not right what she's doing. She's running for re-election, but you know she's already looking at the corner office. You know personally that's not the right thing she should be doing. Mm-hmm. If she wants to run for, then she shouldn't be running for re-election.
Exactly.
Because she's not giving the city the answer that she's going to do.
And the attention.
Yes.
The city deserves more attention than someone who is going to become the mayor and then, running for another office.
I'm saying that must hurt you some because you know how it is when you run for office. You're telling someone, I'm going to fill out a term that I'm going for. Yeah. And when they don't, that's not good.
Yeah. You completely disrespect everyone who voted for you.
And like Russ Terrio said, he said, because there's only 1% vacancy rate in the city, that's why rents are going up, because there's no control.
Well, I don't think that we should have rental control. I actually think that we should focus more on tax control. Because if you what happens is, if you have people who rent versus people who own buildings and charge people rent, the people who rent don't actually get to see the impact of the tax bill. On the cost of rents. And what happens is you go out and you approve this spending at the ballot box, or the city council does, and then that's how much you're going to spend, and people don't understand there's a direct correlation between the city's tax expense and their rent.
But what I feel is if somebody's rent's got to go up because of taxes, let's say it went up 4%. Your rent should only go up 4%, not the landlord raising it 6 or 7, you know what I mean? They raise it more than they need to.
Well, I'm a firm believer in rent control.
That's what we're talking about.
I really am, that. I've been very fortunate where I live. I've got a pretty good rent. But a lot of people can't afford $1,000 to $1,400 a month.
And we're talking your seniors.
Yeah.
Like people like you who are on fixed income.
Wait a minute, I'm only 37.
Yeah.
With experience.
Right.
Yes. But you know what?
Yeah. Well, if you, the sad part is, if you live on a fixed income and you make too much money for Section 8, is that what they call it, Section 8, or public housing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You're at Poopy Creek.
So California did something interesting. Now, I don't think California does much interesting.
No.
But they made it so that you locked the rate of your tax bill at the last time you got a building permit or transferred the property.
All right.
Which means that if I've owned a piece of property for 35 years, I'm going to get taxed at the rate that I bought that house at, whereas someone who just bought a $400,000 house next to me gets taxed at that rate, so that your elderly don't get taxed out of the community.
Are you aware?
It's called Proposition 2.5.
Are you aware in the city they want to do away with Section 8 and affordable housing?
I am not.
That's what they want.
I am not surprised.
And what they want is they're not looking at the middle class. They want to make it a high tech industry. And they're not focusing on some of the jobs for people who can't always do that. And when they took the last property and over at Hackett Hill, they destroyed the only property they had for the other for more jobs.
The one thing I really oppose is Job Corps.
Why is that?
Because you have to pay for your daughter to go to college, right?
Yeah.
I have to. We pay for my granddaughter to go to college. Yeah. Mm-hmm. These guys are going to Job Corps, and they get paid for going to college. Mm-hmm. That's what I don't like.
Well, my son from my first marriage went to Job Corps.
Yeah.
Learned to become a phlebotomist. Okay. Didn't do it right away. Went out, worked at some other jobs. Worked his way up till he got somewhat stable in his life.
Yep.
And then he went and got a job because he had to have a job history before he could get a job as a phlebotomist.
Yes.
But he actually got a job as a phlebotomist and is now a phlebotomist in the Midwest.
That's one of the very few. I know a lot of them that go to that school and they get out of school. Like I know one person, since now with Pastor, she got a degree in underground welding.
Wow.
And that's a lot of bucks they can make.
Oh, yeah.
She never followed it through. I know another one who studied to become a great chef. He became a laundry worker. And if you're not going to, and I just see, I'm not saying they're all not going to do it, but I'm just saying what I don't like is when you and I pay for them to go to school, okay, and because out of our time, I love these grants that people talk about. Or these, the government funding. Where the hell does the government funding come from?
Hey,
it comes from the taxpayers.
Can I ask you, would you suggest that if someone did that and like you're talking, we pay for it, that they have to do they have to give back so many years in that field?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that would be a form of indentured servitude, which is presently unconstitutional.
Okay.
But we would need to actually structure it in a different way where they would either need to fulfill that rule or pay the money back, which is not indentured servitude.
Yep.
I'm not going to say which nursing home, this is not important, but there was a nursing home and a couple other places that they would pay for the people to go to school, but they had to sign an agreement that they would stay there like for 3 or 4 years.
I think I can live with that.
Yeah. Because then they're actually paying it back. Why can't we as a government, for the people, say, okay, you're going to study what you just said, your son becoming a phlebotomist. Okay, now he's actually doing it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Actually, so now I make jokes that he's a vampire, but,
Yeah. And now he can, I have a friend of mine whose son is going to Wellesley School for cooking. Yeah.
Okay.
Going to be a chef. Mm-hmm. And he's actually he's going to be a scientist.
Hello, you're on Norm's Community Corner.
Hello, what's happening?
Hey, Mary, how you feeling?
Better than I have been. I'm on antibiotics right now.
Okay.
For the infection again. I knew there was something going on.
Yeah.
Besides the flu.
Yeah. So you're going to be doing your show tomorrow?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I'm feeling better than I have, so that the penicillin finally kicked in.
Oh, good, because we were worried. I don't know if you read it on Facebook, but for my family and my community family, all wish you to get a speedy recovery.
Thank you so much. I don't know why. I'm going to have to friend you again, but I don't pick you up anymore. On Facebook. I don't know. I'm picking, a lot of people lately, I haven't been picking them up either. So I already told them I'm friending in them. So if you see it, it will be me.
Okay. Okay, because we get a lot of I've been getting a lot of names on there that I've already friended and come find out they're scam artists or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, Mary, I'll friend you, and then you can friend me back. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, because I lost. I don't know why I'm losing that.
Yeah.
But they said, Mary, did you see it on Facebook? I said, no, I've lost you for some reason. I don't know why.
How is Dick doing? Yeah. How's Dick doing?
Huh?
How is Richard doing?
He's doing good. I'm going to be seeing him Friday.
Oh.
It's coming up quick. I have to go out to UNH.
Yeah.
To give out the scholarships there for the Walker scholarships and everything. I do that once a year.
Yeah.
And everything. So thank God I'm feeling a little bit better. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going there either,
Right. How's our little gardenia there doing?
Gardenia, I gave her a little baby aspirin. I gave her half a baby aspirin.
Uh-huh.
And she's still sneezing and everything. So she's doing a little bit better than what she has been, too. So she probably caught, from what I had, because she's so close to me.
Yeah. One time I bought Mary one of those pre-cooked baked chickens.
Okay.
And it was still warm. So Mary put it on her table, right, Mary?
Yeah, and twice that was Crystal that did that.
Yeah, and she went to talk on the phone, and Crystal decided that was her chicken.
I'm guessing Crystal would be the pet.
Cat, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and Crystal thought that was her chicken and nobody else's.
And it was funny when I went to go get it. She was growling at me like, "Don't touch it. It's my chicken."
My dog just did the same thing to my soup a couple days ago. We just adopted a dog.
One thing I have to say, and your guest, I say he's wrong. In my opinion, there has to be a budget or something going on with the rent.
Right.
People cannot pay. You live in the slums, and you're still paying over $1,000 for an apartment for these slumlords.
Right.
They don't deserve to have these apartments. Thank God I have who I have where I'm at. Because if they go up on me, I'm done for. Mm-hmm. So something has to do with rent.
Right.
I know they have to pay, taxes, but give the people a chance too. Otherwise, there's going to be more homelessness out there than there will be in a long time.
Yeah, that's like I'm very blessed with the apartment that we have. I really am. We pay okay rent. But our landlord doesn't really do anything for it. They make promises they're going to put new siding on.
You do something around there too.
I'm sorry?
You do some things around there too.
Oh, yeah, I mow them. I if we're going to live in there, there's no problem. I mow the lawns. Scott takes out the garbage. We do. And you know what? Because I care about where I live. And like when she had her own place, she cared. Mary and I go way back, years and years.
Is she one of your ex-wives?
No.
I'm just checking.
No.
There have been so many.
Republican, I'm a Democrat.
Yeah. And well, I get into a fight, she'd beat them up for me.
All these years.
Oh yeah. Mary and I known each other since I was 18 or 19, and if I started a fight, she'd beat them up for me. Yeah. Well, I don't want to hurt my nails.
It was funny. I was on my way.
We're like sister and brother.
I was earlier.
Yeah.
Earlier today, I was on my way up in the elevator, and one of my most vocal political opponents, whose name I'm not going to mention, was in the elevator with me. He introduced himself, and I said hello, and he stepped back up against the wall like I was going to punch him in the mouth. And I'm like, I'm trying to be friendly, because what is it that makes Democrats scared of Republicans?
Because they had no comeback. One thing about Mary and I, we don't agree on a lot of political things, right, Mary? But we're good. But you know what? We're good friends.
One thing
Absolutely.
and I will not do it on my show.
Yeah.
When people call people names, I don't think it's right to call somebody like I heard Pocahontas. How would they like if they called the man in the White House, hey, there's the orange man.
I actually do call him the orange man.
People call people names. There's no need of it.
No.
Can't you keep anything plain anymore?
Yeah. What this? Yeah, when people don't have a comment, and I'm not just naming them, I'm naming the libertarians and the liberals and all them. They resort to name calling.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I was actually because that's sort of become a tagline.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just using it. It's like AOC is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Hard to say. Okay. I will apologize and say Elizabeth. Elizabeth Warren.
No, you don't have to do it. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That we don't have to be calling people names. I don't care. Because you're a Republican. Yeah. I'm a Democrat. Doesn't mean I'm going to call you a name because you are.
That's that part, yeah.
It's who they are and who they, what party, whoever the party they belong to. It's okay. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Right. The thing is, and I get called all kinds of names, and I like it.
I do too.
It
means I'm memorable.
At least I'm reading my comments.
Well, there are like a dozen. Hold on. There are a dozen people on the Democratic side running for president, I think. Yeah. And I can't name 4. I mean, I really can't.
Joe Biden.
I can name Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren. I can name.
Starts with B.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Beto
O'Rourke.
Yeah.
And
they got another new guy on there.
Tulsi.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
And they got another new guy.
Although, if they want to beat Trump, I will give them one piece of advice right now.
Turn in their keys.
Nope. They actually have a potential candidate who could beat Trump, hands down.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Who? You think Biden?
No. One person who, if they chose to, could actually beat Trump is Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, God help us all.
I'm just saying, if she actually got in to the race, okay.
You know, I'm really surprised that she doesn't.
Yep, but I asked. I actually called.
Oh, she went hands down.
I know. I actually called a gentleman who used to be the reporter for politics in New Hampshire. Yeah. And I said, you know, she's saying she's not running, but is she? And he said, I've personally spoken to her, and she is not going to do it. She is not even considering it.
She can make or break any Democrat on TV, or anybody on TV. Look what she did to Dr. Phil.
Yeah, she could make or break any candidate.
She's the most powerful woman in this country.
I would say that she is. Without it, and you know, whether you agree with her or not, she makes good points.
The sad part, I wish she wouldn't be quite so racist.
I didn't actually know she was racist.
Very much so. I've actually seen some of that too. Okay, Mary, we're going to let you go, hon. Mary, either this Saturday or next Saturday, if you're up to them, we're going to be having another cookout.
All right, you later.
All righty.
Right on.
She has her own show called Cruiser with Mary. You might want to go on her show.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. Like I said, I've known Mary for a long time. I actually encouraged her to do her own show, you know. But as far as these names go, I know she doesn't like to hear it, but the ones that do not like Trump, like Dr. Ross Emery, Kevin Ross Emery, he has, according to Ross Emery, he's a narcissist, racist, you name it, on and on and on. And when I defended Trump on his page, how dare you to write that on my page? Mm-hmm. I said, then don't open it to the public because you're going to get
trolled.
You know, whenever I make a comment, I expect people to disagree with me. Uh-huh. That's what I do it for.
If they don't disagree with you, then you're doing it wrong. We are supposed to create, people like you and I are supposed to create dialogue. Can I tell you a fun and strange political story? They were doing a fundraiser for my daughter's school here in Manchester some number of years ago.
Yep.
And I show up, and this lady comes up to me, and she starts talking to me like we are best friends. I mean, like, literally, we are best friends. And I can't remember her name. I don't even know if I'm supposed to remember her name, but I'm trying to be really polite. And she said, yeah, this is my house. But we served together in the State House. And what I found really funny is that there are 400 members in the State House. It's almost impossible to learn them all. But there's not a place I can go where any of the other people in the State House who were in there when I was in there don't know who I am. Okay, there are some people who are out there and they are the face, and then there are the people who also showed up, and those are the people who control the influence. It isn't that they're smarter, it isn't that they're better, okay? It's the people who get engaged. Well, the same thing is what happens in communities and cities. You want to talk about the Republican Party in Manchester? As far as I'm concerned, it's weak. Yep. It's enormously weak. I actually pulled up their calendar. You and I mentioned it, and they had a tiki torch dinner or whatever the hell that is. I don't know. But what have they done for candidates? What have they done for education? Who are they door knocking for? Show me that they are establishing a base.
Dude. Because you know what? That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been asking them.
They need a new leader.
They do. 100%.
Then let me tell you right now, if you feel that when the elections come up, you're gonna actually go in there and you or whoever can run against her.
I can't because I'm not from Manchester.
No, but I'm just saying I'm not saying just you. I'm talking about anyone.
I believe someone should, and Tammy Simmons is poison to the Republican City Committee in Manchester.
So that means if, let's say, you know somebody that you think should go talk to them.
I'm going to be talking to everyone. Yeah. Because when I ran for Senate the last time, she wouldn't even return my phone call.
Hey, I think
she doesn't know.
Hey, I think maybe Norm should become the leader.
No, you know what? I am going to run for state rep. I'm going to go against.
We got to help you.
That'll be so much fun.
I'll have a ball.
I'm going to
have you guide me.
I have actually helped a lot of people get elected.
You know what time this is, right?
What would you like me to do? You tell me.
I want you to shuffle them. We're going to play strip poker here.
Okay.
Think we'll get banned in from it if we do that?
I don't know. I'm a good poker player, so you should be the one who's worried.
Oh, all right. I'm an exhibitionist, so.
All right. Hey, then it's a win-win.
Yeah. See, actually, I earned my way through college by being a dancer.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not embarrassed by it either. My son knows it. I was honest about it. In fact, he went to see if he could find a video on me doing it. But you know what? As long as I didn't get involved in the drugs, I wanted to go to college. I couldn't get grants. My own principal would not recommend it. And you do what you got to do to go to school.
Sure.
And I'm not embarrassed by it.
You know what? There's nothing I can think of that I have done as an adult that I am not willing to admit to or be embarrassed by.
No.
Because you know what? It's my experience. It's my past. I might have made mistakes. You know, there are people who want to tell me about the mistakes I've made.
But you wouldn't be where you are today.
Absolutely not. And there are people who are, think they're so smart and understand so much about me. But, I've sat here many a times, and I've told you the truth every single time. And, you used to question that sometimes. And say, and like you'd heard other things from other people. And I'm still here, and I'm still telling the same story.
And you know what I'm going to say to you is that you can say, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, or I wish I hadn't done, but you know what? You wouldn't be where you are today.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how I got here.
I had to go back to my hometown and get rid of all my negative energy. And I had to stop blaming the town and the people because I allowed it to happen to me. When you let go of all that negative energy and you start saying, Jim, I am a winner today, or Jim, you are a winner. When you start believing that you are a winner,
it really works.
The only person who is responsible for your life is you. And it's the choices. You might not have had good options, but you made the best choice you could at the time.
Yeah.
Never kick yourself for it. You need to say, you know what can I learn from it? Learn from it, and then you improve.
Yeah. I hung around with trash.
Or like the people you have in your life, your friends. Yeah. Sometimes you have to reline sometimes to get better.
If you have friends who are not encouraging you and strengthening you, don't be around them. Don't roll around in the mud with them ever. Walk away.
All right.
They should be encouraging you when something good happens. They should be holding you up when something bad happens, but don't let them drag you down.
Right. One of the things I always say is I don't have a whole lot of friends. I have acquaintances. I also know that if I didn't do what I do, I wouldn't have as many people. Okay. Take out 5 cards. Don't look at them.
Okay.
You got a lot of changes coming around you for the better. Do you want to move out of your house?
Not sure yet.
Then I do see you moving in the next 3 years.
Okay.
When I actually see you doing actually moving out of state altogether.
Could happen.
And the reason being is health-wise.
Yeah.
Political-wise.
Yeah.
And a lot of other changes that will be good for you. By the way, your dog that you had, the mother of that dog is so thankful that you rescued the dog.
I'm not surprised. The dog was literally one day away from a lethal injection. He was in a kill shelter, and we did everything we could to get him off that list. It took us 5 days to get approved to get a dog off of a kill shelter list. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We drove to New York and picked up a pit bull.
That's cool.
And brought it home. It's fantastic.
And they're not as vicious as it's how people treat them. My son had a pit bull, Brittany Spaniel, and loved people, but it didn't like other people. Other dogs, rather. Well, George, I do believe your wife has got that job.
Okay.
And it's going to be okay money.
Okay.
It's not going to be $1 million, but it'll be an okay living. Your wife is a highly qualified lady, whatever she does.
She actually is.
She can learn. When she's not sure, she can learn very quickly.
Would you mind if she joined us on the show?
Sure.
She gets here in time?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to tell her.
Yeah.
Get here
Tell her, pop right in.
and come
Is she here?
right in. She just got finished an appointment.
Let me. Okay, yeah.
And be on the show.
What are you going to say?
Norm.
Is the door going to be open?
Do you want to go down and check?
It's at the pie.
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Have her let you know if the door is open or not once you get here.
Okay.
Because if not, I can always give you the code.
And then
have her let her in.
Well, you wait, hold off for the reading till she gets here?
No.
Okay.
You can always do one on her.
Good. Well, this is her. She's got a good education. She's a very she knows how to be a salesperson.
Well, I think she's learning.
She's learning. Well, she's getting it from you.
Mm-hmm.
Stop browbeating her, though.
Oh, no, I don't.
And then it's the other way around.
We don't browbeat each other.
Okay. Because I've seen that. Did your dad pass?
My dad did. Okay. And I will actually, after we talk about this, I will tell you how my dad's passing got me in politics.
Okay. Because he is very proud of you.
I'm glad.
Okay. He doesn't always agree with you.
Absolutely not.
Was he a Democrat?
Well, he was...
An independent.
He was considered by the Union leader and William Loeb one of the city's first libertarians.
Oh, okay.
He refused to be identified as a libertarian because he didn't agree with the drug policy, but he agreed with everything else.
Boy, your dad had... Ooh, I'm going to give you a message from him. He has a mind of his own, and so don't you. Mm-hmm. Okay. I can't say that word. They want me to use that F word, and I can't. You know, he enjoyed the beer every once in a while.
Okay.
And I see him having a can of beer. And I asked him, was he a cigarette smoker?
Yep.
Can I smell all of that? But I'm also seeing a lot of smoke in his lungs.
Yep.
Okay. But he also could be a very loving dad when he wanted to be. But he didn't know how to have that loving personality. This is what he's telling me. Okay. Mm-hmm. But he said you learned a lot from him, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. You have a lot of respect for that man, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay.
You will not believe how much.
Yeah. And he says you effing better. I'll put it that way.
What's that?
He said you effing better. I can't use the other word.
Oh, that's so funny. But yes, of course.
He used that word quite, okay. But he also was a very devoted family man, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
His family always came first. Mm-hmm. Your mother adored him, didn't she?
They had an interesting relationship.
But it worked
They
for
stayed, them. Yeah, it did. They stayed married for years, lived in two separate states, vacationed together twice a year for 2 weeks, and, the rest of the time.
Yeah. Had they lived together, they would have probably shoot each other or whatever. Okay. He loved your wife.
Well, I'm so glad.
He really does. Not a lot. Were you married previously?
I was. He couldn't stand her.
You're right. If he had her around him, he would box her ears, quote unquote.
Yep.
You also know when he said no, he meant no.
Yes, he did.
When he told you to get in the corner, you best get into the corner.
Oh yeah.
Okay. His voice.
He used to put my face right in the corner,
Yeah. His voice was louder than a spank.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. He was a direct person. He was honest about it, but he could tell you a story without blinking an eyelash and convince you he was telling you the truth. That makes a good politician. You just told me.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. One thing. Do you have a brother?
I do.
You and your brother are a lot alike. In many ways. That's why you two are not as close as you should be.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Probably.
You're both very independent.
Yeah.
Is your mother also passed?
They both are. Yes.
Okay.
They both died of a bacterial blood infection they got in the hospital.
I believe it.
Which is one of the most. I think it's the 4th or 5th largest killer in the United States.
I'm sure. CMC had a chart on the hospital that I looked at. It was frightening. Your mother was a very, very loving lady, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
You were very close to your mother?
Yes, I was. She actually came and lived with me and my first wife for a little while, and the both of them had the same thing to say. Get rid of the other one every single day.
Your mother also was very particular about her house cleaning, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Okay. She also had a mind of her own.
Yep, she actually ended up working for the IRS and moved her way from data clerk all the way to systems analyst.
She says, if I can do it, your wife can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Your present wife. Mm-hmm. Okay. And she thinks your children are adorable.
Oh, they are.
Okay. She approves of the way that your wife became parents to them.
Mm-hmm.
The trouble with you is your wife is firmer at saying no than you are. Your children can wrap you around your little finger.
Totally true.
Okay, my son does that to me too, and that's okay. You know, but I also will tell you that. Ooh, did you have a grand aunt that passed that you were close to? I see another woman try to push her way through.
I don't know.
Okay, then it could be your grandmother on your mother's side.
Okay.
Okay, you have a lot of supporters in your family that have passed. They don't understand what you're doing.
Nope, that would make sense.
And they're also very confused at what you're doing at times. But for some reason, you always come out with the right solution. Okay, you almost drowned at one time.
What's that?
You almost drowned in the lake at one time.
Probably, yeah.
And I'm seeing now. I definitely see you selling your house. You own your own house, right?
We do.
Okay. I definitely see your house, and I don't know what there is in Michigan or around that area in Wisconsin, Michigan, but I actually there's some kind of position that you're going to be getting that I'm not going to tell you it's going to be tomorrow, honestly, but I think it'll be very worthwhile for you to check out, and you'll be able to work out of your house, but you'll also make tons of money with it, quote unquote. Money's not that important to you unless you have enough to pay your bills and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You have a passport?
I do.
Okay, I see you going to Europe.
It's right here.
Oh. Oh, that's what they look like. Yeah, I'm going to get one. Now, to get one, I have to go get a real license, right? Real ID.
Real ID, or, yeah.
You have to go to City Hall? Or no?
Yeah, you have to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
So if I go to renew my license, can I get it?
No. You have to go, you have to take proof of your work, you have to take proof of your residency, you need to bring a utility bill and a whole bunch of other things. And then you got a driver's license with a star on it.
That's funny if I don't have those.
You'll have to get them. So this one is a real ID. It's got a little star in the corner. And this one is an ID without real ID. This is a state identification that's not a real ID.
What's the one they promoted with your license?
If you don't have a star, you can't get on an airplane without a passport. You want to pass this over to him?
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
It is. With this, I can get on a plane anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I could not believe I had my non-driver's ID expired like 2 years ago, and I forgot to renew it or whatever. The stuff I had to go through.
Oh, it's incredible.
I had to go. I had my rent receipt.
Yeah, but take a look.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I had my rent receipt. You know where my.
You also need a utility bill.
What if everything's included where I live?
Then you're going to need some other proof of utility.
Like, would you say a cable bill?
A cable bill addressed to you at your address.
All right.
Yeah, and your rent receipt.
Yes.
Okay.
And any method of way that you are paid. So if you were, depending on whether or not you got an employment check or whether or not you got a disability check or whatever.
Receipt, and
and a bank statement.
Yeah,
because just the addressed bank statement is one of those documents they will take as a utility style address.
Not anymore.
Really? Okay.
I'll do my cable bill.
Okay.
This is where the last 10 months you've gone through hell and back health-wise.
I have.
But you're improving. Because you're not a quitter, you're not going to give up. However, you need to be more careful on the diet you're on.
My doctor told me that the other day.
Because we want you around to be on the show for another 2 or 3 more years, okay?
2 or 3? How about 30?
Well, I want to be around, on my TV show.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going on and I'll be going on my 19, 20. How long, Scott? 20 years? 19? Yeah, that'd be close to 20. I'm one of the oldest ones here.
Oh, you started with Joe.
Before him. Don't insult me.
No, because he claimed he's on his 19th year.
He went off for a while, too. And then I'm longer than that. He took a break.
All right, you haven't.
You and your wife have a very unusual relationship, but it works for you two.
Yep.
You cannot be around each other 24/7. You have to have your own spaces, okay? Your dog is such a happy dog. How old is it?
About 1.5 years.
Okay. Wants a new collar. Nothing like the one you has. Is it a he?
Yep.
Okay. And wants a real manly looking collar. Okay. And I would probably, and I love, you give it people food?
We tend to give it a little people food, but most of the time we don't. We actually have this, thought in our house, which is that that people don't eat dog food, dogs don't eat people food, because they both don't have the same digestive system, and we don't know what the dogs.
I actually would disagree with you.
Okay.
And the reason being is, when you were growing up, did you have dogs?
We actually had dogs. We had cats. We had goats.
Did you feed them all dog food? Did you feed them people food back when you were a kid? Well, we did.
We used to somewhat, but because we had a variety of different animals, we were very specific about the food that we fed them, because you don't want to feed chickens chicken food. You don't want to feed any beef to cows. It actually creates problems for them.
Yeah. Well, just, like with my little dog, she passed away tomorrow, 3 weeks ago, and she would not eat dog food. Mm-hmm. We literally had to cut it up and put some rice and stuff in with it. Wow. And she lived to be 16, almost 17 years old.
That's great.
And actually, Joe, one of the people that work here at the studio, actually gave me my dog, And she was such a blessing. And the day before she died, she sat by the door waiting for me to come home. Mm-hmm. So animals know.
Yeah.
Animals know. And one thing with you, too, you're actually getting another dog.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Your daughter's going to be bringing a dog home.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
And she's, a junior in high school?
I have one that is a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And then I have one who's a junior, but she's living in boarding school, so she won't be able to bring the dog.
You're 14, the one that's a freshman in high school.
15.
I look at her. She really likes animals.
She does.
She would be a fantastic. Look how white my hair. Oh, how gorgeous! But look how. Not that I'm conceited, but I also
just convinced.
Right. But I'm also she's a very caring person.
Oh yeah.
And she can actually communicate with animals.
Do you know she actually does fire eating and fire breathing and fire dancing?
Cool.
Next time I see you, can I bring you a little video of her doing that?
Absolutely,
because it is mind-blowing.
And she wants to come on and talk to her.
Yeah, she can't do it in here, but...
No. I mean, you're talking about what she does?
Yeah.
Is your wife coming in? Or?
She's supposed to be. Let's see how she's doing over here.
One other thing I'm also seeing is that you need to check your brakes on your car.
Okay.
And the back brakes, I'm concerned about the way they're stopping.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe needs just could be out.
It's that's probably the car that I'm having worked on right now, which hasn't been running for years. I have a 1987 Pontiac Fiero.
You need to get it going.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to tell you to double check the brakes.
Absolutely.
The police are watching you, so be careful if you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
Because you stir up a lot of creating a lot of problems.
I have actually created a little bit of controversy for them.
And you enjoy it.
I do. It's one of my
favorite. But you're honest.
Absolutely. I tell them that. Yeah. I actually, I got stopped by a police officer. He goes, "Hi, why don't you have a car registration?" And I said, "Well, because legally, I don't have to, right?" And I've challenged this in the legislature. And I've said, constitutionally, you cannot require me to actually pass a car inspection. And so I dared them and I challenged them, and I actually dared them so much that I got so many points on my driver's license that I lost my driver's license for 2 years, which is why I just showed you my other ID, because I am absolutely, positively going to repeal this law, because most of the states in the United States don't have it. The ones that got rid of it found that it didn't improve safety at all. And it's a problem in terms of safety, or it actually improves the financial ability of auto dealers and repair shops to force you to get your car in, not improve the safety of people on the road.
It's all a moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like my daughter, had to pay a lot of money to get her car inspected.
Yeah.
And all that, and it's unbelievable. You don't like making decisions, do you? You have to ponder them all out.
I like to be careful.
Yeah. How about being spontaneous?
Not generally.
You got to be more spontaneous. And the reason I'm saying that is I want you to become a little more uncomfortable. And, did I make the right decision? Did I do that? Do something at the whim of the moment. Like, When's the last time you and your wife actually went away somewhere?
New York City.
Okay, and how long ago was that?
4 months ago.
Okay. You got to start doing more things together. Okay, that's for your own. Because I would be very concerned about you losing communication with each other. Don't take her so much for granted.
Yeah, I don't. I've actually been, the 10 months you told me have been very tough, were probably tough more for that reason than my regular health.
Yeah. I'm actually seeing your health improving. I will never tell you you're going to be 100%. That's a bunch of garbage. You know it, I know it.
Well, I will tell you that I am learning to stand up straight and take on every challenge, and nobody's going to stop me until...
No. And don't look behind. Your wife, and there's going to be a lot of changes coming into your wife for the job that she has when she's applying for. I really believe she's going to get it. And that could be a different position with a little more authority. Okay. She looks like she's very laid back, but she's very go-getter.
She is. She's incredibly competent.
Yes.
She actually ran the
Oh, here comes troublemaker herself.
New Hampshire Liberty Alliance dinner this year.
Walk right behind the walk behind the cameras. No, you're going to get yelled at otherwise. We were just talking about you.
Okay.
And I believe you're going to get this job if you want it.
Oh, that will be nice.
Okay. They're going to offer you a lot of career opportunities with it.
That'll be spectacular.
You believe in yourself?
Learning to.
Do you believe in yourself?
Working on it.
Okay. Look in the mirror and say you're a winner. Oh, you got to pull your mic up. There you go.
It says not to touch, but I'm touching.
No, there you go. No, that because I do this a lot on there.
Okay.
And he yells at
And
me.
it creates an echo.
Yeah.
So is this better?
Yeah, bring it right up close. Okay, there you go. And but I do see this is going to be a good move for you.
I hope so.
We're not going to hope. We're
Okay.
going to know.
So be it.
So yeah, okay.
So he
When
was
the
going to
firm-
save the shuffling and the reading of the cards for you, but we didn't know if you were actually going to make it. So do you
It's
want to
for both
swap
of you.
seats with me?
It's up to Norm.
No, that's okay. I can share with you. You can shuffle them all up, and we'll shuffle you all over again.
Okay.
Who's the lady that passed away?
It's the lady that passed away.
Your mom passed?
No.
Oh no, she's pretty cantankerous, huh?
Okay, yeah, I guess cantankerous could be a word for my mom.
But you're a lot like her.
I am.
The most recent person I can think of as a lady who passed away in our world would be Kimberly.
Probably, yeah.
It's a woman?
Yep.
Okay. And was she close to you?
She was closer to him.
Okay, well, this woman is closer to you. This woman telling your husband to go to hell.
Wow.
She's laughing as she says it. This woman, when she actually she was quite young. She actually died of cancer. Maybe was a good friend or something like that.
I have no idea. I can't think of anybody.
She says you'll know when you get home.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so befuddled.
Your daughter, that's a boarding school boy. She's going to be a great politician.
Which one?
The one that's in the private boarding school in Maine.
Yep.
She's very easily influenced by other people that she shouldn't be. Well, when she learns to have her own mind, there's going to be no stopping her.
Absolutely.
I actually see her running for Congress.
I can see her doing that and winning.
Thank you. Boy, you would be proud of that, wouldn't you? You got to put your mic up there, young man.
I would absolutely be proud of that, no matter which party she was actually in.
That's it. Party is only a name.
I know.
You know, I'm a firm believer that party is only. I make a lot of enemies with it, but if you judge a person by their party, how sad.
I know.
Stop worrying about your weight. You're great. You are where you're supposed to be.
You talking to me or him?
You.
Okay.
Am I looking at you?
I don't know. It's kind of an.
Don't make a molehill into a mountain because that way you won't learn to lose weight.
Well, I think you're incredibly beautiful every day, and I tell you that every single day.
Yes, you do.
And you are. You
Thank
have a
you.
beautiful heart.
Thank you.
Even when you're mad, you still have a beautiful heart. Because you don't stay angry very long.
I try not to.
Okay.
Causes wrinkles.
Yeah. And I know that's why makeup does wonders when I look in the mirror. You know. I always say, "Oh my God, I'm so gorgeous." But one thing I want you to start doing, I want you to start looking in the mirror. And oh, by the way, what's your name?
Rhonda.
Folks, we had George's better half, Rhonda, here on the air. You know, no, that's what he says. Am I right?
I do
He
all
did,
the time
so
and
see.
every
And
day.
I say he's my better half.
Yeah, see, that's what works for you two.
He's a better man than I am. I say that all the time.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Oh, by the way, this is James. James is in Rhonda.
Hi, James.
Hi.
James has been working with me as a co-host for quite a while now. He's a good kid.
Nice.
He's actually from the same area I'm from,
Oh, yeah?
in London, yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to take out 5 cards.
So, hon, when I took out my 5 cards, I was 3 cards to a straight. I guess that means I must be Polly.
You need a bigger diamond.
No, I love
Hint,
my
hint.
diamond.
You don't like diamonds?
No, I love my diamond that he gave me.
But you need a bigger one.
She's
No, I
got
don't.
2 sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not one. See,
Sparkly.
I'm a diamond girl, see.
Yes, on your left hand.
Yeah.
2 rows. Beautiful.
You know, one thing about a relationship that you're in, no one ever said a relationship was going to be perfect. No one ever said that you were not going to cry tears. No one ever said that it was all going to be happy. You're going to be on a swan and you're going to be happily forever and ever and ever. The only thing it says is you got to work at it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not a quitter.
And I'm what?
You're not a quitter.
No, I'm not.
When you believe in something, you go all the way with it. I would like you to, I also told George that I do see you selling your house and moving out of the area altogether. And it could be within the next 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't know what's in Michigan or Wisconsin or something that area, but I know it's going to be somewhere where you people are going to least expect it.
Dope. Okay.
You're going to start a whole new life with a whole new beginning. And I think that's going to be important to you. And it's also going to bring you and your daughters and you have a son, right? And it's going to bring all of you closer together. Because you have that loving heart that's always trying to please everybody else. Now, you got to stop trying to do that and take care of you.
Was he listening to Jordan Peterson?
I have no idea, but you've been.
I have been.
Okay? Do you think these people that you really try to mother and take care of really give a heck about you?
I'm fairly confident my family does.
Well, I'm not talking about your family.
I don't know.
Because you know what? They'll listen to what you have to say. And, oh, we'll go to her. Rhonda, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I got it right. They'll go, oh, Rhonda will help us out. And then they, you know. But you don't expect gratuity. You don't expect people to pay you but they thank you or things like that. Because then you go on to the next one. Then you go on. This is who you are. You would have made a beautiful psychologist, by the way.
No, thank you.
Okay? You do listen to people.
Yes, she does.
Okay? You have a bleeding heart.
Are our hearts bleeding?
No.
Oh.
A bleeding heart is someone who really cares.
Okay.
Okay? And does listen. But then you've got to learn how to let go of what other people are saying. Okay? You're a strong, and I actually see you going back to school. You love education. But you also can't sit still for a long period of time, so you're better off to do it on the computer. Because you have adult ADD.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, good, yeah.
Okay. But when you have an opportunity to learn, you learn very quickly. Mm-hmm. But if you don't like it, you're going to learn. Here we go. You know. And also what I'm looking at with you as well, if you make a commitment to go somewhere, then you go, oh, do I really have to go? But you fulfill it anyways.
I try to.
Okay.
Don't always succeed, but I do try.
Yeah. You said your mom is still alive?
Yes, she is.
You have a good contact with her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Very critical?
I don't know.
Especially of him.
Well, because I'm her baby, so.
Yeah, you'll always be her baby. But the grandchildren are her top of the world to her.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, I want to tell you too, and I mean this from my heart, you two are great parents.
you.
You have done a great
Thank you
job.
very much.
And I think you know me well enough by now that if I didn't think so, I'm not bashful. You know, my spirit never told me to be. I actually told a lady, she come in one day, and she would tell me what a great parent she was. I said, no, you're not. You're a lousy parent. She was, what do you mean? When you buy your children present, do you take the price tag off?
Yes.
Okay. She doesn't.
Okay.
And she doesn't. And she reminds them of it. And to me, I'm sorry, don't buy them just if you're going to remind them about it. And I said, you think your own little world, okay? So learn how to be a parent. You know, her husband 3 months later called me and thanked me.
Nice.
Yeah, because you know I don't mess around. You know. Get off the depression. Do better. If you need,
Working on it.
Okay, if you want to talk to me anytime, give me a call. We'll talk through it. Or on Facebook, okay?
Okay.
Or you can come in my office.
Okay.
I only get $250 an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
We can't afford it at $250 an hour. We can't, but you know, I can do some computer work for you.
Oh, okay.
So.
No, I'm only kidding. Actually, I don't charge on that. One other person can donate. Although one time I had a client come in for 2 weeks. I cannot stand. I'm watching you. My stomach is gagging. I cannot stand Dunkin' Donut coffee. When they bring in these big things and they expect you to drink it while they're there. Then I had 3 other women bring me in apple pies.
Wow.
So like, I bother you when I bring.
Oh, no. It's just for me. It's my own. Like I go into Dunkin' Donuts, I'll order an orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I go to Dunkin' Donuts and I'll get something for everybody else in the car and I get nothing.
No, get an orange juice. You need the vitamin C.
This is true.
Okay. You also have a slight hearing problem.
I
Okay?
believe it's called selective hearing.
No. Your family may think so. By the way, George and I had a nice phone call, didn't we? About how we support Trump.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You are like a elusive butterfly. You jump from one decision to another decision until you find out what you want to really do. You understand what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
But you always have the encouragement of your family.
Yes, I do.
Which is, I think is important to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I also will tell you got another 25 to 30 more years together.
Perfect.
I don't know how you put
See,
up
you're
with
not
each
going
other,
to give
but
up
that's
without
okay.
me.
Your dog, by the
Absolutely
way.
not. I adore you, which I tell
know,
you every single
health-wise,
day.
Health-wise.
You got your dog really adores the both of you. Stop yelling at it. Don't be so impatient with it. It's a puppy,
Yes, he is.
and he loves you.
He's a good boy.
He is.
He's a
Stop-
rescue.
Although I worry every time he starts like coming over and biting my ears because he's a pit bull. Like he could take them off in a
Oh,
second.
that's his side of love.
Okay.
But he does want a new collar. He wants a manly collar.
Okay. To go with his manly muscles.
And that's right. Like one of those big harnesses type things.
Yeah.
Okay. He actually has protected your house when nobody's been home. He has a very loud, growling bark.
Yes.
And if they come around your house, and he lets them know, you come near me and I'm going to get you.
Yeah,
Yes.
he actually.
He's a good boy.
He's meeting our friends, but he sees them all as strangers right now,
Yeah.
which is quite
He
strange.
may let them in, but he's not going to let them out. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, he's
You cannot have another dog around him.
Nope.
Even though I want to see you unless they're mating or whatever. My son had a pit bull, Brittany Spaniel, and he loved the people. In fact, he thought he was a lap dog, but you couldn't bring another dog. Only my own dog I had.
Yep.
But they can't because they're very protective. And for people to treat them the way they treat them, how awful. They've already got a name because of the background on the way people treat them.
Is he actually happy with the name Coco?
He is okay with it.
His name was Coco when we got him. We decided we were going to go with that.
I call him Cujo every now and then.
He likes that better. Pooja was a mysterious name.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You were a very high priestess in your past life.
Okay.
That's why you carry on a lot of the rituals that you do today.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
I don't think I do a lot of rituals, but
And, in other words, you do a lot of things that are very routine.
yes.
You honor the days.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not saying you go out, you do a big hallelujah, you build a cross and put people on it and burn it, because you actually knew the Joan of Arc.
See, I know powerful people too, not just you.
There, see? And you also were a madam in a big kingdom. And I mean a housemaid, not a madam, like a lady in the night. No, you were a highly respected.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was the madam in the night, honey. But anyway. But I also will tell you that.
Did she manage my harem?
No, she would have killed you.
Hey, I gotta ask.
But the one thing about you're the monarch of the family.
I'm the what?
The monarch of the family.
Okay.
You are actually the head of the family. You let him.
And she knows it.
Yeah, and you let him think he's making the right decisions.
See, our youngest is like, nope.
Is that her?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell her, come on in.
Go around the cameras, love. Walk behind
Oh,
you.
she's there? Is there a chair there? Yeah, there's
She
one
can
over
sit in my lap if there's no chair.
There's a chair. Hold the chair up.
there. Yeah, there's a chair over there.
switch
Just
over.
slide her
We were
around.
talking about you and your fire eating and all that kind of stuff a short while ago.
Do you see me getting hurt?
No.
Do you see her hair catching fire?
Been there, done that one.
Well, we'll mix her in with you. How's that?
If you wish.
She's going, how old are you?
15.
Oh, can't. Well, my kid loves your hair. Okay. You're very dramatic. And I show up you right here. Oh, Mommy, I have a headache. I can't
Wow.
do that.
Call that.
Mommy, I can't go to school today. Yeah, I'm going to school anyway. Okay. One thing I'm looking, what's your name?
Emily.
Emily. That's right. I met you before. You've been on here before. Yeah. Pull your makeup closer, please. But Emily, you're always going to be dramatic.
Yeah.
Don't ever change that. You're always going to be a rebel without a cause. Remember that movie, Rebel Without a Cause?
I
with
do, and they
James?
raced right towards the cliff, and they couldn't get out because
Yeah.
of the seatbelts.
Yeah. I love that movie, James Dean, Rebel
Yep.
Without a Cause. This is your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if she joins a lot of protests and that you have to go down and bail her out.
As long as there are protests for Trump, I'm good with that.
Oh, no, it's going to be protests for peace and love.
That works for me.
Okay. She's not going to be in that violent stuff like that, when they wear the mask and all that. But she's not going to protest for Trump, I'll tell you that. Okay. She's going to be her own person. And she's going to be about 20. Okay. And she's going to be in college.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, is she going to be a rebel in college.
I know
She's
she
a
is.
rebel now, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you on the honor roll in high school?
Sort of. Right now, I have straight A's and a D and a C.
No excuse for that D.
Okay.
Fix it.
Okay.
Norm said
You're,
so.
you're lazy when it comes to, what class is it?
Math.
You're lazy. You're hurrying through it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let you, no, and you know the fun part about being a reader like I am? I know. I know when people are doing well. I actually see you being interviewed by Chronicle
Sweet.
with a fire eating and a fire walking. They may want you to do it. You're not afraid. You really will be. You know what? If someone put you in an airplane and told you to do a skydiving, you would actually do it.
Yes, you would.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Without even thinking.
Yeah. She will. You are never going to conform her. Do you want to?
No, she was actually at one of the first meetings with Trump at the First of the Nation primary event where he hadn't decided yet.
Yeah.
She was one of the. I invited 37 pro-liberty Republicans into a room, and she was there with us. I went to get my picture taken with Trump, and he said, "Get her over here." And I actually have. She has a picture of me and
You
Trump.
think he's a jerk, huh?
What's that?
And you're unsure. I'll put it that way.
I'm unsure. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so that your father won't yell at you. How's that?
He doesn't yell.
No. But I'm truly a Trump fan, so one of the things I actually could see you in a Congress suit or in a political world, but more your other sister, the other one,
Rebecca.
I met her too, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you went through a lot of depression, huh?
Yeah.
So anytime you feel depressed, when your father and mother permission, you can Facebook me and we'll talk it through. Okay? Because depression doesn't solve anything.
Yep.
And suicide doesn't solve anything at all. And open your eyes up, apparently. You didn't know that, did you? I'm letting the cat out of the bag. But you know what? If we don't do it now, we can't, we want to help you. Your mom and dad are so proud of you. Okay? And stop calling them names. It's not nice.
Yeah,
Am I being accurate?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I usually do it facetiously.
But it's still happening.
Okay, you're right.
Here we
I'll
go.
give you that one.
You'll give me that one, right?
Yeah. 0, 1.
I actually see you. Oh, God. Right now, you're not. Are you dating someone?
No.
No, you're not ready. Besides that, you have to make sure you get your mother, not your father so much, but your mother's approval. Your mother's a monarch. You agree? You can twist your dad right around your little finger like there is no tomorrow. Your mother's more steadfast. But Daddy, I really need to do this. I really need that new computer. I need to go get my driver's license.
I will be doing that the day I'm 16.
Oh no, you were already planning on when you're doing it. No.
She is.
Have you taken driver ed?
No, I'm too young to do that.
No, but she's learning to drive because at 15 and a half you can drive. So she's been,
Oh really? No.
So she's been
What-
driving a lot. Like she'll offer to go and get me a refill on my coffee late at night just so she gets to drive. Yeah.
When I was 15 and I was driving my mother's brand new Buick, and these girls, when I didn't know I was gay one, they come by in these short bathing suits, Somehow the car just fell into the lake.
I'm sure it just somehow.
My mother wouldn't let me drive her car again. But one thing spiritually, like what I do, you are very good at it, even at 15 years old.
That's what everyone says.
I would encourage you to communicate with the animals. You actually like animals better than you do people.
I love my boy, like my dog.
I don't want to hear any more excuses than you trying to miss school.
Okay.
That's what I love about being a psychic, I had this one young man, he wouldn't go to school I said, you know what, pal? I'm going to tell you now. Every time you don't go to school, I'm going to know about it. And you're going to think somebody's faking your bottom. And he never missed a day. And he graduated from high school, and he's in his second year of college.
Nice.
And then I went into a gang. How many people, you and I would go into a gang and talk to them. We're not that afraid.
I'm not afraid.
We know we had the spirit on our side. You would too, and so would she.
Oh, I'd talk to a gang, no problem.
Yeah. And
Already do.
I looked at him, and I said to him, I realized, you guys aren't too smart. You carry your guns. You got one, and I'll tell one guy, I said, you got one under the back seat, and you got one in the trunk. And guess what? The one that's in the trunk has actually killed somebody. And then I looked at another kid, and I looked at him, I said, he was like 14. I said, why are you wasting your life with these guys? When they're my family, I go, hell no, they're not. And I looked at that leader, so-called, he said, I like to fight. I thought, good for you. But if he gets killed, you think you really care because you will replace him. And I looked at him, I said, and I don't want your blood all over my sidewalk. And he listened to you because of what? I said, because you're a young kid. I want to see you improve. 2 years later, his mother, and they remember, 2 years later, his mother came and thanked me for it. This is what I'm all about. And this is what trust me, you are going to be one of the best, like social workers or psychologists, maybe with a degree, maybe without a degree. Because outwardly, you're very shy. But you're also a very good observer. You're also very good at stretching the truth every once in a while.
I have a lot of eyes on me right now.
You also have a lot of hidden anger.
Probably.
I'm going to encourage you, like I'm going to encourage you to write all your emotional feelings. And I really encourage all of that from day one to whenever you can remember. Because when we bury the anger, then we're not helping each other. We're not really hurting ourselves. Okay, and I really believe that. I also will tell you later in life, I actually look at you being a fashion model.
Okay.
Aren't you beautiful?
Yes, she is.
No. Aren't you beautiful?
I mean, I guess.
I'm not gonna let you get off the hook that easily. And get on your mother. Aren't you beautiful?
I guess, yeah.
No, yes.
Yes.
And you're also, I want you to look in the mirror and say, what's her name?
Emily?
Emily. I want Emily to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I really am beautiful. And I am beautiful. I am beautiful inside. I am beautiful outside. And I love me for who I am, not what I am. Who you are is a mind of your own. Dares to be different, and just enjoys life. Okay? And what I want you to remember this. You are a winner. And when you, all three of you get up in the morning, you have another kid lives at home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When all four of you get up in the morning, shake each other's hand and say, you know, I'm Emily and today I'm a winner. George, you say, I'm George to Emily and I'm a winner. And you, Rhonda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got her name right. Always say, I am a, you know, when you look into that mirror, he can tell you it does work, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And when you start believing in that, you got to tell everybody they can go F themselves, you know, because you know what you're doing. You're a very intelligent lady. If you wrote short stories, okay, you were doing well. I could actually see in your past life, may I go into your past life? Okay. You were a circus person. You did that. That's why you do the fire thing today, and you can do the, you used to do the, what do they call it, the tightrope and the trapeze. And you used to ride horses. You like horses?
I haven't had any recent experiences with them to know.
I would encourage you to do some volunteer work with it. Okay. You like kids, huh? Smack them. Hang them upside down. Folks, I'm only kidding. We'll smack the parents and not the kids. Matt and I got phone calls on that.
Oh my God!
Yeah. We got, because they take it seriously.
Yeah, and letters to the editor, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You had it all.
I had it, but and isn't the children? I blame the parents. I watched a kid one day over in the park where I live, and he went over and literally smacked the heck out of his mother. And I went over and I said, "What are you doing?" I literally had to put my hands in my pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you would have been doing the same thing.
Oh, trust me, I've bitten my tongue so hard so many times that I've
and you know what she
tasted blood.
said to me? Well, if I hit him back, or he tells his father that I get beat, I said, "Why are you with him?" Okay, we got 10 more minutes. What is your future goal for you? Let's see if you're going to make it.
I want to travel. I want to.
Oh, we already know you're going to do that with some kind of a traveling circus.
Yeah, I want to. My goal so far has been get
yeah,
like
go
a.
up to the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get like a bus or something, transform it into a home, and just travel and see everything that I haven't.
Oh, you're one of us back in the days when I used to travel in the bus. We used to have no kids. What did they call it back then? I can't remember what it was. We went from one community to another and to another, you know. I actually marched in the Martin Luther King March. Okay? And I woke up and I said, oh my God, where am I? Hung over, you know. Yeah. On a commune. I can actually, because I don't see you getting married for a long, long time.
Oh, me neither.
And I also don't see you having children. Until you're maybe 35.
Okay.
The one thing I love about it, you're always going to be in contact with your family.
Oh.
You want to be, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it, yeah. They're always going to be supportive of whatever you do. You're very fortunate, okay? I don't see you leaving your house right away, though, until you're maybe 20. And you still want, Mommy and Daddy do not want to let you go.
That's facts.
She's my
Don't
baby.
you agree?
She's my baby.
Yeah. And it was hard for you to let the other ones go. But they're doing well.
They are.
Okay. Is there a tension between you and your son?
We are quite disconnected.
Once
Because
I told you he wants to make amends with you.
I think he does. He actually asked me to perform his wedding. So yeah.
And that's a good thing.
That is a very good thing.
And it's exciting.
I gave him up for adoption because his mother and I had gotten divorced, and she was pregnant. She wanted all the kids to have the same last name, so we were very separated since he was 1. But we've built a relationship over time, and he said he wants to get married, and asked if I would perform the wedding.
So are you a reverend?
I'm a justice of the peace.
Okay, good. I'm also a reverend too. I love when these people tell me, because I do what I do spiritual. I was a born again Christian. I could probably quote most of the Bible from anybody. Then anybody said, but the devil can quote the Bible too. I said, but I don't have my horns yet.
Yet, operative word.
Working on it, right?
Right. And I hope they have air conditioning and nice fresh martinis, shaken, not stirred, One other thing I'm also looking at you is that you're going to do a lot of dating. But I also want you to accept who you are, not what you, but who you are. That's important, okay? You're really a very shy person until you get to know people. Mm-hmm. Okay. You got a pretty good appetite, huh? Especially for unhealthy foods.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Coke.
Not Coke.
Not soda?
No.
Good. All three, you need to drink more water. And I would encourage you to drink water with lemon. Or actually what I do is I drink Bragg's organic apple cider, Vingar. Put it in water.
Sounds delightful.
Yeah, because, vinegar. Yum.
Yeah. Oh, no. Put some lemon
Stuff
in it.
of dreams, man.
No. Put some lemon in it. You're thinking about the regular commercial. No, buy the natural and put lemon in it. Because what that does, it cleans out your kidneys area, your infection. And also, before you go to bed at night, I've learned this from my son, drink like a organic cherry juice. And I always add water into it. It does help you sleep, and it takes a lot of your inflammatory parts out of your body, and it does work.
Okay.
And also cranberry juice for you.
Love this stuff.
Yeah, because you can very easily get female.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a way, all these things that we learn from the organic foods and natural healing. We can learn ourselves. We can body heal thyself. Okay. I don't see you having a drug habit, by the way.
As long as we can pass that along to my sisters, I'm happy.
I want to say, I'm not going to tell you to do it or not do it. I'm not going to smoke one way or the other pot, but I don't see you really getting addicted to it.
Yeah.
I actually think you'd be allergic to it.
I know a lot of people who've had drugs who have helped them, like psychedelics and stuff like that, and so it's something I might try when I'm older and ready, but...
And I would tell you, if your dad did the medical marijuana, he would feel a lot better.
That's what I'm saying.
I am a big advocate of legalizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I run for state rep, I'm going to be one of the ones that want to legalize it. I'll do your share when I get home. How's that? You don't, right?
It's all good.
Oh, all right.
It's all good.
You don't like making, you and your mother are so much alike that you're like, both of you, like elusive butterflies. You jump from one until you finally establish what you both want to do. I have to tell you, and I have to compliment both of you.
4 minutes.
Okay. I have to compliment the both of you about being the great parents that you are.
Thank you.
You even put up with her sassy mouth. You're not sassy, are you?
Yes, yes.
I am.
But it doesn't get you anywhere, does it? Only with your dad.
So, darling,
Yes.
I noticed something that maybe you didn't notice, and I suspect Norm didn't notice, but between us, we made a straight.
Oh.
Oh. I'm not supposed to know.
Well, because may I see those?
Yeah.
'Cause
These cards
we
are
had-
from the Bahamas.
Oh, we almost had the.
So, here's what I'm telling you. I had the 8 and the Jack and the Queen. So, we actually did combine make a straight.
Nice.
Well, I want to thank you all three. Want to come back on again? Your husband's, your dad's, actually, you probably were married to each other in your past life. That happens a lot. Oh, how gross. But obviously, you don't remember that, But your dad's going to bring a video of you eating fire. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. I'll let you know when I get home, George.
And if I can fit it into my schedule, would you be interested in a political weather report every week?
Sure. Yeah. Facebook, call it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a phone call on it, and we'll talk about it. I want to thank Emily. Oh, I got it right. George. Remember the last time, too. And Rhonda, right? I want to thank the three of you for coming on. George and I got a very nice compliment because we're Trump all the way, you know. And this person called and thanked us for being the way we are. Excellent. I'm not changing my attitude. The only thing I said before, I wish the people who are running for elections would speak out. I ask questions and they ignore them. That makes me upset. Mm-hmm. So then if I don't like it, then they say, oh, you're angry. No, I'm discouraged. But anyway, thank you all for coming on. We're all going to say together, we go on. Remember, you're the winner. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Remember,
you're the winner.